Hey everyone, today we are going to be talking about taking long family road trips and how we can manage that and keep our kids entertained for those long hours. Now, the holiday season is coming up, and I know a lot of us are going to be taking some extended road trips with our families, whether it's to go see other family or vacationing or whatever it may be. I know for my family personally, we are going to be traveling over the Thanksgiving holiday this year. We are going to be taking quite a long road trip, 7+ hour road trip. My kids are usually only used to taking like a 3 or 4 hour road trip, so this is definitely going to be longer for them, and I want to make sure that we're prepared with lots of activities for them to do. Now, let me first say, I'm not against using screen time in the car. I think especially for road trips or on the airplane or whatever, like I have no problem letting kids watch a movie or whatever. But when you're talking about really long road trips, 6, 7, 8 hours, like I don't know about you guys, but like I'm not comfortable having my kids just like watch movies for that many hours. And honestly, I don't even know if it would keep them entertained that long. Like I feel like after 1 or 2 movies, they're going to be done and they're ready to do something else. So I'm preparing myself to help entertain them for some of those hours without screen time. So if you're interested in some road trip activities to keep your kids entertained, keep on watching. For those of you who do not know, I have 2 children, ages 2.5 and 6. So this is going to be activities that are good for both the toddler age as well as the early elementary age. All right, and again, if you're new here, my name is Rene. I do videos on homeschool, motherhood, all things kids, adoption, all of it. So if you're interested in any of that, make sure you go check out my channel below and hit that subscribe button. All right, guys, let's get started into it. So first things with road trips is car management. I am sure if you have taken a road trip with kids, you have been there where you get to the destination and you open the door to the back seat and you just see trash and toys and everything everywhere, and it's just complete chaos. This super stresses me out, especially because then I have to worry about like either cleaning all that up right then or doing it before we have to leave to go back on our road trip, and it's just insane. And then we've like lost half the pieces to the toys, and it's just, and there's a melted chocolate bar in the ground, like whatever it is, like it's just no good. So I think step one for any long car trip is to have a backseat management system. So for me, this time I'm trying out a new system. I call it the Dropbox system. So I basically bought this little like fold out box thing. I'm gonna put this in between my kids' car seats. So they have a middle seat in between their seats that this will fit nicely in. If you don't have an extra seat though, you can also put it in the floorboard. But basically what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna be handing back activities and things throughout the trip for my kids to do. And rather than them just like throwing it on the ground or whatever when they're done, now they have a nice box to put it in. So my goal is when they're done with an activity or a toy or a snack or whatever, they can put it in the box. That way when we get to our destination, everything is nicely contained here and I don't have to go searching for things all over the car and cleaning up everything everywhere. Going along with this is also you need to have some sort of trash system. I personally keep a little trash can in my car full time. It's like sits in the floorboard between my kids' seats. So anytime they have like little bits of trash, they can put it in there, and that actually has helped a lot. I definitely recommend that. So we're going to continue using that for our trip, but it doesn't have to be fancy, guys. You can just get a grocery bag and hang it on the back of your car seat thing, and they can put it there. But whatever the case, you want to have a system for trash and where they're going to put their toys and activities when they are done. All right, guys, next tip for managing the back seat. Again, maybe this is just my kids, but especially my eldest, when I give him an activity to do in the car, he like is entertained by it for like 2 minutes and then was like, what's the next thing? Like he just wants to see what's next. And so it's not really eating up any of that time in the car. So to manage that, I have gotten this visual timer. And this is actually something we already own, something that we use on a daily in our house. And basically this is like a little visual timer, so the circle will kind of go down as the time is going. And this is kind of a visual reminder for my kids for like when they can get their next activity. So I'll probably change it, how much time it is, depending on like what the activity is that I'm giving them, but like maybe like 20 minutes. And so I'll set it for 20 minutes, so they'll have to play or do whatever activity I gave them for at least 20 minutes, or they can just sit there and look out the window, that's fine too. But they can't get the next activity until the timer goes off. This helps me as the parent because then I don't have kids in the backseat constantly asking me, can I have something else? Can I have something else? They know when they can get something else because they can see the timer and they can hear it. So this is just to help me kind of manage that. I did consider just giving them all the activities in one get-go. Like I thought about turning this Dropbox instead into like an activity carrier and having like both their stuff here and just available to them. But again, I know my kids and they're gonna blow through all the activities in the first half hour of the trip if I do that. So it's just better, at least at their ages, for me to just hand things back to them kind of in a organized manner, if you will. So that is kind of my management system. So next management thing is snacks. So snacks can kind of be like toys where kids are like every 5 minutes, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. So again, I'm trying out something new, and this is actually a hack that I kind of just saw floating around social media, and I really liked the idea of it. So I actually got these snack boxes off Amazon, and I'll try to remember to link some of the stuff below, guys, as well, if you're interested in finding these things. But I got these snack boxes, and basically what you do is you just fill up the little boxes with different things. You know, you can have some healthy, some treats, you know, maybe some nuts and M&Ms and, you know, dried fruit or whatever. I'll probably try to pick things that aren't going to be like super messy or melty. And like, again, a mixture kind of healthy and also some treats. Basically fill this up, and this will be like their snack box for the trip. So, you know, they can snack on it throughout the trip, however long they need it. So basically, I'm not planning on telling my kids I have this box. I'm basically going to wait until the first one tells me they're hungry, and then I'll break them out and be like, these are your snacks for the whole trip. You know, this is all you're going to get, so you make it last. Now, obviously, these are going to be nicely packed for the way there. On the way back, I don't know that I'm going to like bother bringing stuff to repack these. I might just stop at like a gas station and refill from gas station stuff. I haven't really decided, but especially for the way there, I'm going to try the snack box system, and we'll see how it goes. So that's how I'm going to manage snacks this trip around. All right, now let's get into actual toy activities. Now, again, I'm not against screen time in the car, so I am bringing my kids Amazon Fire tablets. This is my youngest son's, this is my bigger son's. We will have probably the Disney Plus app downloaded and have some movies and things for them to watch and do, but I'm not planning on breaking these out until like the very end of the trip. So the first, you know, over half the trip, I'm planning on to be screen-free activities, and then this will be like at the end of the trip when they're getting antsy, I'll break out the movies. So we do have these, and then I do have, you know, little headphones for them as well. These are the Snug and Play headphones. I like them because they have volume control on them, so basically it keeps kids from being able to turn the volume up where it'll damage their hearing. So I like, and like, especially since it's going to be in the back seat where I can't really manage that, I appreciate having headphones like these. So that is what we're going to be doing for the end of the trip. So for the rest of the trip, I have a giant bag of activities down here. Now, I feel like it's important for kids to have a space to do their activities. So I have these little lap desks for my kids. I have one for both of them. It actually can buckle like underneath their car seat so they can't like knock it off or take it off. So especially for little kids, that's good, because I know if you ever have a toddler, you know that they love to like kick things off or throw things on the floor when they're in the car. So this one you can like buckle down. This is the brand of this one. But it has just little pockets to keep things in. And it's got a little like, this is like a dry erase thing, so you could put different things in here. This is like a little dinosaur maze for my eldest. But mostly this is just to give them like a lap space to work on. And it's got a spot for the tablet as well, if you want to put like the tablet there. I personally like to hang my tablets on the back of my husband and I's seats. That way my kids can't like be constantly touching it and changing the movie and things. But you could put it here if you want. But yeah, so just a spot for them to do activities is really, really important. So again, I have one for both of them. That's my eldest son's, and my youngest son's is exactly the same, except for his has a little alphabet mat in there instead of the dinosaur maze. So yeah, that's their two little desk mats for them to be able to do activities. So we will start the trip with them already having those set up and ready to go. All right, so for activities, this is not really going to be in any particular order. But I'm just going to kind of pull things out and show you what I'm doing for both my kids. So one of the activities that they're going to be doing is stickers. For my youngest, he is not quite to the point where he can like peel off like regular stickers yet. So I got him these little Melissa and Doug puffy stickers. I don't know if you can really tell that they're puffy, but they're like the little 3D puffy stickers. So they're easier to peel. And so it comes with like little pets, and there's some on the back too. And then it's got like this little play board, so he can like put the pets into the scene. And there's a couple of different scenes it comes with too. So see if I can, so you can see there's like different scenes. So he'll be able to pull the stickers off and place them around, and hopefully that'll keep him entertained for a minute. And then I actually bought that and then realized I had this one already. So he also has this little safari one. This has this little thing, and then this one's just a little safari scene, so it's not as fancy, but I'm gonna give him those, and that'll be his sticker activity for my youngest. For my oldest, he is not super into art, but I did want to kind of give similar activities so that we don't have kids fighting like they got stickers and I didn't. So I did get him some sticker books. He's really into Hot Wheels, so I got him this Hot Wheels Big Race Seek and Find. So it's like a Seek and Find book and a sticker book, which I think is kind of cool. So you try to like find the cars on the page, and then you can put the sticker there when you find them. So it's got like these little stickers in the front, and then it also had some car stickers as well. I'm not really sure what you're supposed to do with the car stickers, but they're there. So that's that for him. And then we already had this one, which is another like sticker book for boys. And just like the other one, like it's got a bunch of stickers like in the back, but then it also has like other like activities to do with the stickers. So it's not just like placing stickers, it's got actual like stuff for him to do. So a little bit of a step up for my younger one. So he'll have those 2 sticker books to do. So sticker books, great thing to do for a lot of kids. Another kind of artsy thing I got is these mess-free coloring. So I don't want to have to worry about my kids having like drawn mark all over their car seat or themselves or anything like that. So the mess-free Crayola ones are great. Probably most of you have heard of these, but if you have not, they will not mark on your skin. Like, I mean, I can take this marker out and mark on my skin and it's not going to show. But if you color on the special Color Wonder paper, then it'll obviously show up there. So that's what we have. I got the bluey one. Most of my kids like bluey. So I just said there's just a bunch of like loose like coloring sheets in here with these markers. So this is something they're gonna kind of share, and so I'll just hand them back, you know, a coloring sheet or 2 and some markers together, and that'll be like a coloring time for them. So Color Wonder is a great thing to do in the car. And again, I'm not gonna worry about those markers getting everywhere because they're gonna have that drop box so they can put them in when they're done. All right, another activity, and this one is more of a whole family activity, but I got this little car trip games, and it's got a whole bunch of these just games to play in the car. So this is something we can do as a whole family. Of course, you can also listen to music as a family and things like that. But I thought this would be fun just to have a few games to pull out, again, to build some of those road trip memories. So this is something that we're gonna do as a whole family. All right, what else we got in here? Next, I've got some of these activity bags. My husband just had some of these bags lying around, so I like utilize them. I don't really know where he got them, but I'm sure you can find any kind of like Ziploc bag would work for this. But I basically just made some bags for my kids. For this one, let's see, this one's for my youngest. It has one of these rainbow writing tablets in them. If you've not seen these are great. Basically, like you can see, this one has some drawing all over it, and all I have to do is push this bottom button and it disappears. And then it's got like a little stylus up here, and you can draw and write on there, and it's like rainbow. So it's just like a little easy, like mess-free, again, way to draw. So both my kids have one of those, and then they also both have one of these. It's like just a little like water game. They can push. My youngest, it'll just be more about pushing the buttons, but my eldest can actually try to like do the game. So that's just like a little fun thing, handheld thing for them to do. And then my youngest son is really into poppets right now, so I got him a little poppet to fidget with. So this one's kind of like a bag with multiple things in it. So that's like just a little activity bag I got for them. So this one's my youngest. My eldest is almost the exact same. He also has one of the rainbow tablets and one of the little water games. The only thing he has that's different in here is instead of having a poppet, because he doesn't really care for those, he's got some of this like thinking putty, and it's like just a little like sensory putty to play with. So you could get some of that fun putty for them to play with, just something for them to like do with their hands. And so yeah, that's what they're going to be doing with those. So it's another activity for them. Another one is just some general toys. So if you have toys around your house that as a parent you're like, man, I really would like to get rid of these, like maybe like Happy Meal toys, or just maybe something that doesn't really go with anything else and it's just kind of junky in your opinion, travel toys is a great utilization for those. So this is just like a little bag of figures, of like random figures. They didn't really go with any of our other toys, but it's like, you know, stuff that people either like gifted us or whatever. So I'm having a hard time with this zipper here. So for my eldest son, he had like these random little like superheroes that like didn't go with anything else. So they make great travel toys. So this is like a bag of figures for him to play with. So that'll be like a little toy bag for him. And then my youngest also, of course, has a toy bag. His has Sesame Street characters. Again, we just kind of had these. I don't even know when we got them. The little like Sesame Street characters you can see. And then he also has a few little like Thomas trains in here. So again, just some little figures for him to play with. Toys are always great in the car. The next thing that we have is puzzles. So for my eldest, he loves jigsaw puzzles. So these were great, these little Disney tins. They're pretty small, so I was able to put 2 in here. So these are 2 60-piece puzzles. He's really kind of beyond 60-piece puzzles at this point. It's more like 100 pieces, but this is just what we had. So I'm using what we had. I didn't want to buy all new things just for this trip. So these are 2 puzzles for him to do. And then for my youngest, I got him, or I didn't get him, he already had this. This is like a little bear puzzle, so it's got like little dress-up pieces. So this is something he can do independently, and he can do it a lot of times over, you know, change the clothes of the bears or whatever. He really likes this puzzle, so I thought this would be good for traveling purposes. So those are their 2 puzzles. The next thing I have, this is kind of electronics. This is something new for my eldest. So this is one thing I did buy for this trip. We have never done video games with him yet. He's only 6, and we just have not gotten there yet as parents. But this, I thought this would be a great thing for him. It's like a little handheld Leap Start game. It's got like, I don't even know how many games, like 60 plus games or something on here for him to play. And so it's got like a little screen, and then I'll have like games that he can play like handhelds. I think that this will keep him entertained for a long time. This is going to be a pretty big gift for him. This was actually something I was considering getting him for Christmas, but I really wanted him to have it for this trip, so I decided to just get it to him for this trip. But he doesn't know he has this, and he's going to be super excited when he sees it, because again, he's never had like a video game type thing before, so I think this will be really good for him. So this will keep him occupied for a while. For my youngest, there wasn't really like something at his level that was like to the same caliber as that. The closest thing I feel like we have is like this little Leapfrog laptop. There's some different games and things on here and songs, but we've had this for a while, so it's kind of old news, you know, like my kids are used to it. So while my youngest will enjoy playing with it, it will not keep his attention as much as the video game will for my eldest. So I have a few extra things for my youngest in this category. So I also have this Leapfrog phone. Again, this is old news. This is stuff we already owned. I'm just bringing it on the trip with us. And then one more thing that we've always used this as a travel toy in the past, and it has been great. If you have a younger toddler especially, highly recommend this. I don't even know what brand it is. I'll try to find it and link it below. I'm sure that there are other things similar to this, but it's just like a little busy board, and it's you can turn it on. It makes like noise, like kitchen noises and stuff. It's like a little kitchen, but like, you know, this little pot opens. There's food in there. There's like a little, you know, microwave. There's little cabinet things, a toaster that dings. I mean, just like lots of little things, kitchen little things to mess with here. Both my kids actually really enjoyed this, but this will be really geared towards my youngest for this particular trip. But yeah, so this has been great. This is probably in terms of like toys that keep my youngest's attention the most, this is definitely one of the higher ones up on that list. So that's kind of the electronic toy category for that. And then let's see what else I have in here. I do have another bag of toys for both my kiddos. They're both the same. They're just these little mini cars. My kids are vehicle obsessed. And again, we had these like mini cars. They're like smaller than Hot Wheels, but they didn't really go with anything else in our house. So I thought, again, great travel toy. So I just split them up in half, and so they each have a little bag of cars to play with. So it's just another like toy activity for them to do. I know, guys, so many activities, but again, we're going to be in the car for a long time, and I don't want to be halfway down the road and have nothing, you know? And then finally, I have 2 more things here. We also have books. So for my oldest, sorry, trying to like split these up by kid here. For my oldest, for books, I wanted to get some books that he's reading-ish, but not like fully on his own. So this is a great book because it's got like the pictures you can push that like read the story to you if you've not seen these before. I'm ready to read books. So this will be great. He loves superheroes. He can push the books and it can read it to him. So this is like a little sound book for him. Then I also got him from Usborne these things to spot. This is again something we already owned, but just something that was great for travel. And then also from Usborne, I have these superhero mazes. So this is like a little maze book so he can do the mazes. And then finally, this is just a book to look at. He loves these Cars and Trucks and Things That Goes books, and it's quite long and has lots of different things to look at. So it's a good thing to just be like flipping through in the car. So those are his 4 books. Obviously, we could have brought a whole lot more books, but I only have so much room in the car. So I limited it to 4 per kid. So that'll be the books for my eldest. Oops, just push the button there. Now you guys can hear it reading to me. For my youngest, he also got a book just to look at for fun. This is like a little 100 words book. He loves to look at like real pictures, so he will enjoy this, just flipping through it. I also got him some interactive books. So this is like a little slide book. So it slides and you can see things. And then I also got him a little Lift the Flap book. This one's an Elmo one. So you like lift the flaps and you can see things or whatever. That'll just be fun. I do worry sometimes with these that he might rip the flaps off. But I do think this will hold his attention more than some other books, so I want to bring it. If you do have a really young baby though, I should have brought it to show you guys, but there are some Lift the Flap books that have like velvet flaps that can't be ripped. Those are great for traveling. And then I did purchase one new book for my youngest for this trip. He's really into tractors right now, and so this is a little tractor sound book. It's got like the real pictures and makes all the different sounds. I think this will keep him entertained for quite a bit. So that's kind of for him. I felt like my eldest had some books, you know, some of the search and find books and stuff would keep his attention a little bit longer than maybe some of the other books for my youngest. So this was one to kind of help the book activity go a little bit longer for him. So those are the books I got. And then the last thing I have to show you, I did actually buy both my kids one new toy for this trip. And again, this is something I'm probably going to break out towards the end. As like a special thing. For my eldest, I got him Legos. He loves Legos, so I got him just like this little Lego set that he can build in the car, so he'll be able to build it on that little tray. And so this will be a huge deal for him, and this will definitely take him, you know, a decent amount of time. It'll like I could see him spending at least an hour on this in the car, so that'll be really good for him. And then for my youngest, I got him this little robot travel thing. It's actually a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be just like maybe like half this size, but that's okay. Super cute. I got this from Learning Resources, and it's because my youngest son is super into robots right now. But if your kid is not into robots, they have this same toy and like different, I think there was like a fairy one and an animals one. So there's some other options if you don't like robots. But basically what this is, it's like a little robot town. See if I can show you without like spilling it all. So it's just like a little robot town for them to play in, and they've got these little like tiny robots. Oh, totally just dropped that. Little tiny robots that they can play with, you know, in the little town. We go down the slide and play or whatever. So I think that my son will like this a lot and play with it for a bit, but you never really know. But at least it'll be something new, and hopefully will hold his attention for at least a little while. So that is the new toy I bought for him. And that, I think, is it, guys. So those are the activities I'm bringing. Again, I'm going to be setting that timer, handing them back as we go, and hopefully that'll help keep them entertained. If you have any road trip activities or hacks that you feel like have just been like life-changing for your family, please leave them down in the comments below for me. I will be definitely checking those out. And again, if you'd like to check out more of my videos, definitely go and check out my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.